Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. It is my first build, which is my quality build, and it is currently part 22. And it is also the 12th of October 2017 as I'm recording this. Pretty sure it's part 22. Yes, it is. Okay, so we finally worked out where it is that we want to be going in this area, because, you know, I guess I just kind of forgot where I was going. I did have a general idea, but it did take me some time to really work out where I was going. Or kind of like, you know, reacquainting myself with this area, I suppose, is what led me to finally... Well, when I did actually reacquaint myself with the area, I did manage to remember where I was going. But, yeah, these harpies are being strangely aggressive, possibly to make up for the fact that they didn't attack me on that tower that I was on before. Possibly when we go on that tower, the harpies that exist in this area, you know, fly over there. But now, because they're not over there and dead... they're attacking me here, because usually they don't attack me so aggressively at this stage in the ascension upwards, but anyway, that's just a funny thing that exists. Now, I once again don't really understand why I wasn't attacked on that tower. See that one over there that we would have been standing on before? Well, for some reason they just were not interested at all in attacking us, when normally they would be interested in such a thing, but not in this version of the fucking game, apparently. Because, of course, as you know, yeah, you do what you need to do. What I'm getting right now is not something that we're going to be using for a pretty obvious reason. The reason is because we are not playing the online. But anyway, I'm just getting it because I can. I'm going to drop just here and get this item here that I can't remember. And it is a soul of a brave warrior. More souls, I cannot complain. I will consume the Proud Knight's soul. Then I will consume the Brave Warrior soul, because I may as well, seeing as though I'm here. I have a pretty decent number of souls here, but that's going to be used pretty quickly as I'm leveling up at this stage, because as you can see I am level 58, so the soul requirements are rather large at this stage. I think we can actually see the soul requirement. No, we can't. We need to be in the level up screen to be able to see that. I was thinking that we might be able to see it in the status screen, but oh well. I don't really like the place that I'm in right now. Do I need to, like, actually physically drop down now? I guess I do. That kind of sucks. To be fair, I don't normally drop at this spot, but I guess... Like, as in drop down to where I'm standing right now, but I guess I fucked myself up. That's alright. I guess we'll either be going through the fog gate there, or through the door that's just behind. Oh, but we also do have an option to continue upwards, so... That door right there can't be opened from this side, but we can indeed go through that fog gate, and I may do that. But locked by some contraption means that we can't go through it, my friends. But we may as well open a shortcut here, because there is one that is existing past this fog gate. And you can just drop down into this area if you want by taking damage. This is not an area that you need to go in this direction to access. It can be much faster than that. If you're purely going to the Painted World just to unlock these guys, I don't want to say unlock them, but yeah, these guys are a good source of souls. So what I'm actually going to do is equip a certain item that I acquired at some stage, which is, you know, you guys should remember it. I did something very risky to get this thing in the Tomb of the Giants area, or at least just before it. Or maybe it was still technically called the Tomb of the Giants. At this stage, I'm kind of, like, not in a great position because the Phalanx has moved kind of out of its... Yeah, I'm fat rolling, so that's why I need to kind of change my equipment here. Can you fuck off? I'm trying to do things. I can't take too many hits here. Anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do is not die. Long story short, I'm out of healing wares, as you can tell. I don't necessarily want to equip humanity, but... I guess we're going to... What's our best weapon? It's this thing. But it doesn't have much range. So what I'm actually going to do is... do this. I don't know if that's a good idea. It's not a good idea at all, long story short. But, okay, we're doing a decent amount of damage here. The reason why these guys are good to kill is because there are a lot of them. They all drop 600 souls. They're quick to die. And it is very quick to get back to the bonfire once you open the shortcuts. So, yeah. There are certain weapons that you can use that hit a lot of these guys to make this a little bit faster. Maybe the Murakumo is a good example of that kind of weapon. I'm mid-rolling and I'm fucking naked. Fuck this weapon and its weight. This isn't exactly the strongest weapon in the world, but these guys aren't exactly the strongest enemies in the world, so it might be okay. I kind of want to, you know, get some good defense here. Is that... yeah, it's a mid-roll. Beautiful, okay. I don't want to do this. This is wasting time. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Alright. Night leggings. Mid-roll. Okay, we'll just do that, okay? We'll just do this. That's easy. Fucking hell. Alright, so we're gonna go and kill these guys. As you can see, having a weapon that can hit multiple enemies at one time is a good idea. Now, the reason why I died there is because I thought these guys were dead, but then I realised, wait, I didn't do the same amount of damage to them, and then I realised it too late, because I was standing in one position there. The deal with these guys is that you want to be constantly moving at all times, because they do actually throw their spears at you. I was out of healing wares, and I was fighting those guys stupidly anyway, by going naked, so I kind of did have a feeling that I was going to die like an idiot, because I was being an idiot, so yeah, it did end up turning out that way, but what can you do? So I'm going to show you guys how to actually get down there quickly. I don't believe that falling damage is based on the actual defense that comes with your armor set. At least I don't believe that is the case. But anyway, if you drop down here, we will actually be able to get an item while we're over here. Going to roll here, we will pick up this item in the corner. And at this stage we do have access to the Phalanx boss, because, you know, it's not exactly a boss. I call it a boss because it is a boss in Demon's Souls, so I have a bad habit of that. I'm going to go pick up my souls over here because that's 50,000 souls that I don't particularly want to lose. So I'm going to show you guys how to deal with the Phalanx here. So there are certain weapons that you can get that hit a lot of enemies at one time, and basically flinching these guys is your best bet. And honestly, not doing what I'm doing here, which is, you know, playing naked, is a good way to deal with them also. I can't really remember exactly how I deal with them, because there are easy ways and there are hard ways. I think having a stronger weapon than what I have right now is also a good way to deal with them. This is only doing damage in the 300s and it's pure physical, so I don't really like what I have here, but at the very least I'll be able to hit a few of these guys with a single strike, simply because it's like rather wide hitting, so that's how this weapon works, and that's why I'm using it as opposed to, like, you know, a spear which has like a centralized area of attack, or area of effectiveness with its attack. I mean, 2 hits with a fucking two-handed is just not acceptable in my opinion. But anyway, we are doing a decent amount of damage to these guys regardless, and we're also getting a decent amount of souls. So as you can see, we picked up a pretty fair number. I don't know if you were keeping track of it, but it's pretty good. And this is pretty much the farming area that I use. This is my preference, this place. So now that we do have access to this, and we have access to the shortcut, we will be able to use this as our main farming area. You're probably thinking, why would you want to do that when you can't warp out, Doomlink? Well, once you've actually killed the boss, it's not that difficult to actually get out of here again. So what we're going to do, I was hoping that you'd run into my attack, but no, that didn't happen. So what I'm actually going to do is kill you, rest at the bonfire again, maybe actually level up, could be a plan, seeing as though I do have a fair number of souls here. I know I'm taking hits foolishly, you don't need to tell me that. But anyway, how many times can we level up? That was 3 times, I think. And let me see what I actually want to level up here. I think I did say that I wanted to focus on dexterity from now on, but I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I'm neglecting. Resistance, to my memory, maybe I'm thinking about Demon Souls when I say that my resistance is not too relevant to me, because basically the equivalent of resistance in Demon Souls is a bit buggy, so it's actually kind of bad to level it up. Luck is a little bit the same, I think. But, oh god, I think resistance might be okay in this game. But it's not exactly something that I need immediately. Oh Jesus, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just level up dexterity to 33. Okay, so we're just going to focus on dexterity here. Once again, we are not going to be taking strength beyond 30. If we are going to be doing a quality build that focuses on weapons that scale with dexterity, we're not really going to want to take our strength beyond 30. We want to just, you know, now prioritize dexterity. But anyway, did I say leveling up strength anymore? I hope I didn't say not leveling up dexterity anymore. It kind of sounded like I said that in my memory, but my memory is pretty shit sometimes. Anyway, let's go and equip my Silver Knight set again with Havel's leggings, and I will take off this weapon. We do need to get the very large ember so that we can upgrade this further. It's currently still sitting at a B scaling, which is not ideal for a dexterity scaling weapon, simply because dex weapons do rely on the scaling a lot more than the physical damage, because, well, the starting physical damage of the weapon itself, because keep in mind that's strength weapons that have high starting physical damage as well as high scaling, so that's why even though you can get good scaling to dexterity based weapons, you're generally going to be doing more damage with strength weapons. I was about to say in general twice, even though I did say generally before, but anyway, I don't want to repeat terms, but yeah, you will be doing less damage with dexterity scaling weapons, even if you focus on scalings a lot. You do need to focus on scalings, that's a requirement, because otherwise you're not going to be doing any damage. But yeah, one benefit to this weapon is that it does have higher base physical compared to normal dexterity based weapons, because it is indeed a weapon that has 28 strength to wield it one-handed. So I'm actually going to equip this weapon to start with here. I'm heavier than I was expecting. That's because I'm not using Havel's ring. I'm being moronic at this stage. But anyway, let's go and equip our shield here, and we are good to continue. So I'm going to go and hit you. I'm once again forgetting that this weapon has really awful range, but that's okay. I did choose to get this weapon for fun, and see how we didn't get flinched there? That's what poise is, and I'm sure you knew what poise is, but anyway. I guess I'm going to kill this phalanx without using the Silver Serpent Ring. Of course, the Silver Serpent Ring, what that actually does is... I shouldn't allow myself to get hit anymore here, it's not ideal. These guys are pretty lethal as a group. The idea is that as you flinch them, you will be able to resist their attacks, but sometimes you can't flinch all of them at one point. Especially using a weapon like this that has awful range, you will probably not be flinching a lot of them at one time. But yeah, trying to get around them. There are a lot of places where you can actually hit these guys. Compared to the actual Demon Souls Phalanx boss, I mean, these guys are a joke, but yeah, simply because their shields are much smaller. You can see that if you are not careful, these guys can deal a crapload of damage to you within a short space of time. There are ideal ways to fighting these guys and unideal ways. One ideal way in fighting them, or to fight them, is to actually use a weapon like this that has short range, can't really hit multiple enemies at one time, unless they're like right next to each other. And even if you're kind of in a big close group with these guys, and they do kind of set themselves up like that, they're not going to remain that way. As you could see, they were kind of moving around a little bit there, just kind of getting further and further away from each other. So yeah, there are lots of factors involved with that one, but generally I would recommend using the sort of, let's say for instance you're using an ultra great sword. That would be really good because it has a wide swing, wide range, and can hit multiple enemies at one time, and also has the capacity to ignore shields. But of course you're probably not going to be using an ultra great sword in all of your builds, so it might not always be that beneficial to you. Now, there's a shield coming up here that I do love to fully upgrade. This is one of my favourite shields in the game. The Blood Shield has really good resistances, and it is something that I will often upgrade to plus 10 because it's not that great on its own, like unupgraded, but if you fully upgrade it, it will have pretty good stability, and it will have really good resistances anyway. So I don't like this shaking of the camera, it kind of puts me off a little bit, so anyway, just trying to remember, I think dealing with this guy is really easy if you just go close to him here, like this. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to attack you right here. If I can remember, I don't think, yeah, see, if we just stay nice and close to him here, we're fine. Kind of like one of the rules that you should take into account. Oh, yeah, that's right, okay. So I just need to remember how to fight this guy. It's been so long, honestly. Or at the very least, it feels like it's been a very long time. This is the exact same enemy that appears in the Valley of Drakes, I will mention, so yeah. I like to fight this guy ranged, to be honest, but there is an ideal direction to go with the guy, but as you can see, I guess, as long as you get ready to avoid his claw attack, you should be okay. Oh, Jesus. Don't exactly want to get hit with that stuff. Alrighty. Now, I thought he was doing the claw again. Yes, he is doing the claw again. See, as long as you get it out of the way of that, you're fine. If I get hit directly with that, I'm going to have serious problems. And as you can see, as long as you don't get hit by his stupid claw, he's not going to be that much of a threat to you. But, yeah, anyway. He does have a lot of health, and it is generally safer to fight him from a range, so if you do Or from a distance, rather. From a range doesn't sound very nice, but no more interruptions. That is my motto. But anyway, I feel like we're missing something here, isn't there? No, there's nothing more that we can do here. I also feel like the camera is just so close when we face in this direction. Aren't you getting that feeling? Like, it's okay if we're here, I guess, but it feels like we're too heavily zoomed in like this. This is really awful. But anyway, what I'm going to do here is a pretty long existing glitch that has always been in this game. I don't know if this guy is supposed to be here. This is very strange. I've never truly understood this. This is an enemy that appears in Lost Izalith, which is, you know, oftentimes the last area that you'll actually go through in the game. Aside from the kiln. The kiln is the... I don't like to consider the kiln to be a proper area. I mean like somewhere that you're venturing through for an extended period of time and that you're kind of exploring through and there are lots of different places to go. That's what I mean by area in this sense. So I don't really include the kiln in that. So technically the last area that you'll probably go to is Lost Izalith. But it could either be, you know, the Duke's Archives or the Tomb of the Giants. It really depends on what order you want to do stuff in. But this guy actually appears in Lost Izalith, or at the very least a bit before Lost Izalith. And he's difficult to fight. I don't like fighting these guys, but for some reason he's just here. For some reason. I don't know if it's a glitch, or it mustn't be a glitch because they would have fixed it because it's extreme, but there is a glitch that does exist with this guy, and I'm about to show you. See, when we attack him normally, he has infinite health, this guy. You can't target him. This is the weirdest thing about it. He's just a thing that exists that can't die, and it doesn't matter how many times you attack him, he will just be there forever. But if you do this, that happens. Now, I'm just gonna, you know, get some distance from this guy just to kind of show you the enemy itself. It's really creepy, and when you come through this area for the first time, and you do this glitch, and you get this, it's just... You feel very confused. You're just like, what is this? And why is it here? What the fuck am I looking at? That's kind of how you feel. Because you generally haven't seen this enemy before, and it's very bizarre to see it in this setting. It's like... You feel like it's just been severed and it's standing there for no reason. I mean, this is exactly what the enemy looks like in Lost Izalith, to be fair, but... And you can see we can now target it, but it has no health bar. It's just really strange. Like, I feel that this is a glitch completely. Like, I don't know. I don't understand this, to be fair, and I'm sure maybe with so many years having passed, people have more information on this now, but I never had the care to really look into it further. So my information is kind of, you know, based on a period of time, a very long time ago. Long story short, you know. I have 2011 level knowledge of that guy. But, I will mention that this boss is actually not a requirement. You can just, you know, bypass this boss, and I may or may not do that. I don't really know how I feel about fighting this boss normally, but I will mention that this guy is a little bit different as far as his parrying is concerned compared with the mace guy. I don't necessarily like parrying him. He's a little bit easier to fight without parries, but I might as well give it a shot. He's shielding me right now because he's an asshole. Nah, see. His timing is very different, so I don't necessarily want to fuck that up. But yeah, about fighting this boss, I will mention that I just want to demonstrate how to get back, long story short, because it's a nice thing to do. Because if you guys are kind of thinking, oh, I really want to, how do I say, get back to this area, so that you can get out of here quickly, because as you know, the bonfire over here is actually cut off from the rest, so you can't warp out, so you'll probably want to get out of this place pretty quickly, because you're thinking, oh, what the hell is going on here? I need to get out of here. I don't feel safe anymore. Because you do kind of have this level of trust in the warping system, but then when you suddenly can't warp from whatever bonfire you're at, you just feel really uncomfortable. At least that's how I was, so yeah, if you just continue in that direction, you will be given an optional boss. Basically, what I mean by it being optional is that only if you attack the boss will it become the boss. You can just walk past it and then go to the very edge where you're kind of given the option to jump, and then I guess if you kill Xanthous, you will be given the Xanthous set. It's either Xanthous or Xanthous, I don't know, it depends how you want to pronounce it, but regardless, I will say that it's a decent set and I do use it from time to time. I do forget about you guys every time. Not necessarily every time, but this is kind of what it's like to be playing the game when you forget things all the time. It's really stupid, and this is just a trial and error aspect of the game that you're supposed to learn. This is the idea of having played a game multiple times before. Specifically when it's a game like this. When I've played a game like this before many, many times, what actually allows me to be good at the game is having experienced exactly what I just experienced then, and then learning not to fall for the trap, fall for the ambush, stuff like that. That's the idea of getting good at a game like this. It's purely down to your experience with trial and error and learning what the game likes to do. That is what exists in this area. I guess doing this is actually surprisingly working. This thing has a higher hitbox than it really should, but it's not a bad thing, I guess. Anyway, I'm just going to continue to kill you guys, and I'm going to go get my souls back because I'm annoyed. And, I'll probably speed up the process simply because you guys don't need to see it. You've already seen the journey, so yeah, I'll see you guys over there. I will mention with this guy that your immediate reaction might be to, like, go around him like this, but you need to be careful when you're doing that, because if he hits you and you're shielding his attack, it will push you back and it'll push you straight off that fucking cliff. That's an example of trial and error that exists in this game that I just remembered then. I got a flashback of it, you see. So that's kind of the thing that exists, but yeah, anyway, I need to heal here before I get hit by that stupid arrow. Anyway, I'm gonna fight him normally because I don't remember the timing for the parries with this guy. You fight less of the greatsword. I don't even know what to call them, like Iron Knights maybe. I don't know what to call them. They probably have names, but I can't remember. Regardless, I'm used to fighting the mace guys more than these ones, so anyway. I didn't get the parry timing down for these guys, or at the very least I haven't remembered it quite so well. Anyway, I'm going to avoid the ambush this time. I'm going to quickly pick up my soul and then prepare to get out of this area, because this is really bad otherwise. Just going to do that, because that's a really good hitbox. Even though this range doesn't have much weapon. This weapon doesn't have much range. It still has a pretty decent hitbox, because I think they realise that it deserves to have greater reach than it really should, so... Alright, so that's it for this area, guys, and once you deal with all of this, you will be able to open up this door here, and once you are, indeed... Oh, I forgot that there's a thing that we need to do. I kind of remembered in my head that we could just open this, but... Fucking hell. Where do we actually move that contraption? I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember, that's really annoying. It's not further up here, is it? This is something that I have just completely forgotten. I don't know why. It does definitely frustrate me when I can't remember aspects to this game. Even though I've played it so many times before. I don't know how I've forgotten contraption needed to open that. Maybe I'll have to look for it, but anyway, I might as well show you guys the boss here. I don't know if it gives you an option to walk back out. No, it doesn't. Beautiful. Okay, so basically this is a boss that when we attack, it will just turn into a regular boss. This is Priscilla, and she's pretty cool. I like how she's got a tail. That's pretty nice. But anyway, yeah, she is just not too fun to fight, but at the same time, not too difficult as well. As long as you can deal with the fact that she's invisible, you'll be okay, but it does put you off a little bit at first. You can talk to her. She basically says, get the hell out, and so I will do just that. I like her tail. You can actually cut her tail and get a particular item. It's not... Or is her life hunt scythe from her tail? I can't remember. I feel like if you cut her tail, you get an additional item. I can't remember. It doesn't really look like something you can cut, does it? It's not very easy to cut it all from memory, but anyway. What's actually going to happen here, I'll show you. We will be given a cutscene and we will drop back down. I guess we kind of like fall or something. I'll show you the cutscene anyway because I can't remember what it is. I think we just walk here and then we just jump. It's kind of weird, but I guess that's the nature of this game. We just decide to fall. It's really bizarre. I guess when I was first playing this game, I kind of thought, oh, so we die? Okay. That's a weird way to go. But the idea is that the painted world is nothing more than an image, so once we leave that world, so die, we do that. So anyway, Homeward Bone, we are given a Homeward Bone so we can return to the painted world if we want to, so there you go. We are going to do that because the last bonfire that we rested at was the one in the painted world. I need to actually work out how the hell to unlock that stupid door because I've forgotten. And, yeah, but anyway, oh, I totally forgot that that's what happens when we use a Homeward Bone. Beautiful, thank you. But I think we do have the option to warp to the painted world, that's right, so that's one benefit to that scenario. Imagine if we didn't have the ability to warp there. That would really suck. But I do remember having that ability, because it's an important aspect to this. But keep in mind that even though we can warp there, we can't warp out immediately. We do have to still go and drop to that same spot that we were at before. So, anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. I will probably be fighting a lot of the phalanx off camera, and in the process I will get to a certain level, because we will be tackling the Duke's Archives next, I suppose, after the painted world. Now that I think about it, yeah, I guess that will be... Oh no, that's right, I'm being foolish. We do have to actually kill the 4 kings before we do those 3 areas. Okay, well I guess the 4 kings, or more specifically the Great Grey Wolf, will be our next target, because we do need to get the... What is it called again? The... something Abyss. The Abyss Ring, but there's a... has a name. What's it called? It's something to do with the Abyss, but anyway, it allows us to walk around in the Abyss, and if we don't have it, we just die. So, it kind of sucks, but anyway. Yeah, I'll see you guys in part 23, I suppose. This might end up being a little bit of a longer part, even though I did speed up quite a little bit of it there. But, yeah, I will see you guys next time. It is currently the 12th of October 2017, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.